massive breaking news. Tell us.
We told you last night that this was very close. Now it has been agreed. Alejandro Garnacho is going to become a Chelsea player. He's leaving Manchester United. A deal has been agreed. It's going to cost Chelsea a £40 million fixed fee. Now, that is very important because we've been reporting that United valued him around £50 million. But I think Chelsea actually thought he was worth closer to £30 million. And we have reported in the past that Chelsea were considering opening bids of around £25 million. Now, I know some United supporters were very, very angry about those reports because they thought, hey, hold on a second, £25 million for Alejandro Garnacho. What are Chelsea playing at? Well, look, it's all been sorted out now. It is a £40 million fixed fee. United will also retain a 10% sell-on clause for the player. And I think this is a significant deal for Manchester United because they're criticised a lot for not getting enough for players, for not making money from selling players. Well, I think this is the largest ever sale for Manchester United for one of their academy players. So I think from United's perspective, they're very, very happy because £40 million fixed fee is a very good deal for them, for a player who really has no future at the club.
Absolutely. That is breaking news. United, James, they're having a nightmare. Will the transfer market save them?
Well, they're close to agreeing a deal with Napoli to ensure Rasmus Højlund is no longer a Manchester United player come next summer. The deal under discussion is a loan plus an obligation to buy, and we understand the deal's worth around £40 million. The reason why I open up with that is because maybe this gives them a bit more freedom in the transfer market. We know that they're unlikely to try to sign a striker unless they saw an opportunity, and that opportunity came with Benjamin Sesko. But having spent the money they have this summer, it's felt like the majority of their work has been done. But based on what we've seen in the opening 3 games of the season, it seems apparent to most Manchester United fans that they need a new goalkeeper, to most Manchester United fans that they need a new midfielder. And I think Manchester United are aware of the amount of work that needs to be done on this squad. But unfortunately, you can't do everything in one transfer window. Even if you have an incredible window, it's so difficult to get all the players you want in because it's so difficult to get the players you don't want out of the football club. And United have so far struggled badly to arrange exits for the likes of Alejandro Garnacho, Jadon Sancho. I'm bored of talking about these names because every night we talk about them and often there's no real update because United can't get them out the door for the sort of money they want to. I do think there will be compromises over the course of the next few days, but they're not going to get the money they want, which means that they can go into the market and go to Brighton and say, we'll give you what you want for Carlos Baleba. They can't be doing that right now because they are so restricted because of past activity, because of bad transfers that have gone wrong. They signed Anthony for £70, £80 million. They can't get rid of him, and that's why they can't be as active as they want to be in the final few days of this window, which means whilst they're in talks with Royal Antwerp about signing a goalkeeper in the form of Senna Lemons, he's probably not the sort of goalkeeper which United fans feel they need right now.
I can't get my head around the fact why they're buying him. Why would they buy him, who, we've said it before on the show, means they've just got a string of number 2s?
Yeah, it's funny. At the start of July, we reported interest in Donnarumma from PSG. So does he go to Manchester City on nearing the deadline? I don't know. He would immediately improve that goalkeeping department. Obviously, James mentioned around the 5 o'clock show that 4 o'clock, sorry, that there's no guarantee he will be a first teamer this new incoming.
So why buy him?
Don't know. It's an interesting time at Manchester United. It's quite alarming listening to Ruben Amorim post-match yesterday. Really alarming, and because you look at it when the start of the season they narrowly lost to Manchester United, to Arsenal. Sorry, it was a decent performance. And we said before the season started which clubs would be happy to start the season. I looked at the United's new look front three. I thought, well, I think Manchester United would be pretty happy. But we've just had the Champions League draw here. Got no Manchester United when you've got 5 English teams. I think that's where we are with Manchester United at the moment. It's going to take some time. It's whether this season seen as just another one of rebuilding. But they're going to end up probably like last season. They had probably too many games, as Ruben Amorim kept saying. Now they're going to have the least amount of games in the Premier League.
They had 60 last season. They could have if they go out in the first round of the FA Cup. Only 40 matches this season.
Yeah. Kobbie Mainoo might be sitting on the bench for a few of those. I can't get my head around this one as well. The midfield, Casemiro and Fernandes playing out of position. What is the latest in Mainoo? Could he go?
there's a possibility that he goes. He started yesterday, he played the entire game, but he's not integral to the first team. It doesn't feel like right now, because you look at the changes that Ruben Amorim made in the 2 Premier League matches. Kobbie Mainoo didn't get off the bench in either of them, and he tried a number of different midfield combinations against Fulham, and still Kobbie Mainoo didn't come off the bench. Ruben Amorim feels that he is competing directly for the same position on the pitch as Bruno Fernandes. Last season, Bruno Fernandes started all but 5 of the 60 matches.
But Bruno Fernandes is playing out of position. So
But Bruno Fernandes is playing out of position to accommodate the players they've signed.
Yeah.
That may change.
So why sign them then? If Fernandes was their best player in the playing at number 10, why sign 2 number 10s and play him out of position where he's struggling when they've got a player on the bench who's better in that position?
Because when you look at Bruno Amorim's formation, those number 10s are wide number 10s. They're players that need to have pace. That's one thing Bruno Fernandes doesn't have. So the only natural fit, or the most suitable fit for him in that system, is playing in midfield in one of the 2 midfield positions, which means the role of the other midfielder is so important, because defensively you need to do a huge amount. You need to be incredibly mobile, which is why it is slightly head-scratching when you see Casemiro play. But technically, Casemiro is a brilliant player. Yes, physically he's not where he was when he was at Real Madrid at 26, winning all those Champions Leagues, but he is still a player technically who is incredibly gifted. And Ruben Amorim doesn't think that Kobbie Mainoo can play that role that Casemiro does. And he doesn't think, whilst he's good going forward, is quite a good enough or the right profile to play in one of those wide number 10 positions. We know that there's a number of clubs in the Premier League and Europe who are interested in signing Kobbie Mainoo, and we know that United, whilst they don't want to sell him, because of what I've said before about them struggling to sell players, would have to listen to suitable offers, because he's an academy graduate. Pure profit, that would be any money they bank on him, and that would give them more freedom, potentially, if he was to go now. Whilst Ruben Amorim has said that he believes in Kobbie Mainoo more than we think he does. Whilst that's the case, if they get good money for him and they can sign a player who is suited to this system, then that's probably something that makes sense and something that United would have to consider.
Yeah, well, we know that United did look at Brighton's Carlos Baleba to improve their midfield. Well, Fabian Hürzeler was clear on his midfielder's future in his news conference today.
Crazy things can happen in the last week and clubs can get desperate and make big offers, but are you 100% confident that come September the 2nd, Carlos Baleba will still be a Brighton player?
Yes.
Yeah.
If there's a number more than 100, I even would say more than 100. So
fantastic.
I'm
Good
confident. Yeah.
Well, that's pretty definitive. Chris,
What's happening with Kobbie Mainoo?
He said he's competing with Bruno.
Getting ready to what? Sell him?
Can't help thinking he doesn't fancy him quite, because he's never really sort of put him in from the beginning. I mean, I know he's had some injury issues. He's not putting him in there. He's gone with Casemiro and Fernandes. I mean, if you said to me what was the one bit of advice, it'd be asked to sort your midfield out. Because you can't have that midfield. I mean, what happened on Saturday? They actually were quite good for a period in the game when the front 3 and the back 5 are very compact together, and you 2 in midfield are very much tight to each. Once it gets a little bit spread, which to be fair, Fulham started to get that, he then put Mount and Fernandes in there, and then the game just started to open up. Yeah. And then he had to take Mount off, and then he put Agati on there. So before you know it, you've had 3 central midfield partnerships. You've had your back 3 changed. You're changing a lot every game.
You just mentioned 3 or 4 players there. Are they Man United players?
So Agati, for me, absolutely
Is Mount a Man United player?
Right, Mount, to be fair, I think he's actually done well in his first 2 games, Roy, but I don't know where he fit. To be fair, if he's keeping Šeško out of the team, who, to be fair, now isn't getting into the team, I know it's early, he'll play tonight probably against
All right, so do you think Mount's honestly going to get back to United? I know not in his zone.
Roy, I think he really likes Mount.
Well, probably does.
I think he really likes him.
Me.
No, but I think he really likes him.
Well, yeah, that's a worry.
I actually think as a front 3 they've done okay in the first team. The problem is they're not connecting. They miss big chances, Roy. To be fair,
they've not scored a goal.
I know, but they miss some big chances. He should have had 2 or 3 goals.
Listen, I'm not being a smart ass, but you know it's really important in football.
I know.
What, Roy?
Why did you get all the big money and all the cars and the women?
True,
Just put the bond
Big money, cars and women.
order.
He didn't
The rest of his money
say no.
Money I squandered, yeah, rubbish. You know something, at the end of the day, Gal, can I be honest? The game against Arsenal, first game of the season, I'm thinking, wow, OK, if they're coming like that, it's a lot of energy.
Yeah, I agree.
If these guys... But then, like you said, James...
It's a drop.
How many league goals did Man United get last year?
I'm back to where I was with United.
44 league goals last year. They've got none yet at the moment. That was an OG last week.
Some of the players are running for him, though. Like Ahmad, he did this mad skill on the halfway line. He tracked all the way back. Like, some of them are running for him.
Oh, no, I don't think it's a work ethic.
Yeah.
Oh, no, we're not saying that. We're not saying we're not trying. Ahmad, yeah. I know he's got. But
No, I like
got
him.
something.
He's a good player.
Yeah, again,
Did well
love
for
that one.
Sunday.
I do like
Yeah, he's got legs.
Yeah, but the thing is, you look at someone like Ahmed with his pace, with his skill, his eye for God, with the right kind of like backing up between, he should be doing a lot better than he's doing. He's a very, very skillful player. He's a good player. I think same with Mbuemo, he's a very good player. And Kuna.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening with Sesko. What, he's not even. Just put him on there. Let him.
I mean, it's quite early. I mean, he's had 20 minutes against Arsenal and 30 minutes against Fulham. Obviously, he doesn't look like he's up to it yet in terms of the team aren't playing well, but he's not obviously had a chance. I think we'll see more of him. I think he'll play against Burnley on Saturday. I suspect he'll play tonight against Grimsby.
Can I be honest with them players coming to the Premier League,
Let's
right?
hope they beat Grimsby.
Honestly, James, coming to the Premier League.
Hey, Grimsby are a good team,
all
by
of
the way.
them players. I think
I
Verts
watched
is the same,
Grimsby.
Sesko's the same, probably Jokeris will be the same. All of them. They are absolutely astounded at the pace and the quality and the energy of the Premier League.
Who are?
These players, these new players who are coming in from the German league, and everybody says, yeah, it's so similar because it's so far.
Yeah, I think
they literally they're caught in the lights.
I think Virgil will probably come off that pitch on Monday for Liverpool and thought, what the hell was that? You know what I mean? There'll be an element of what the hell was that?
Yeah.
He's speaking to Patrice when he came from the French league in that first game against Manchester City, and he was like, what the hell was that? I think Sesko probably a little bit of that in terms of it's probably passing him by in this.
Then you know what happens with that then, Roy? What happens is you either embrace that or you go, whoa, this is intense. Then we see where you go from there.
They've got to compete with the physicality so that the technical ability comes out, isn't it? So that's going to be.
But
the
you think it's much
early
quicker than when
learning.
we? Is it much quicker than when we played? Or more physicality? Or players bigger or
It
stronger?
feels it, Roy, when you watch it sometimes. I know that sometimes, like you're saying, Jamie, there's a lot of passing back there and it's but sometimes it must be for these players because you look at them and they're just like that.
Yeah.
I think Monday was a good game.
That was a brilliant
tackles.
That's how the game's
Best
And a couple
game
of
ever.
Newcastle lads get carried off. You know, if you're Liverpool, you go, I'll see you later, lads.
According to The Telegraph, United and Chelsea are now close to agreeing terms over the transfer of Garnacho, with a deal said to be worth in the region of £35 minus 40 million. The Argentinian no longer has a future at Old Trafford and is due to leave the club for good before the window closes, providing all goes to plan in these final stages of negotiations. United have reportedly based their asking price on the £50 million figure Arsenal paid to sign Noni Madueke from the Blues. Garnacho will be hoping to jump straight into regular action with Chelsea, as he will no doubt be eyeing a place in the Argentina squad next year and his country look to defend their title at the 2027 World Cup. The report has also provided an interesting update on Chelsea's pursuit of the winger. The Telegraph report highlights that there is a realistic market out there for Garnacho, should things not go to plan with Chelsea. With only a few exceptions, Chelsea's business is done with potential trading of the player further down the line should a transfer not work out, the report claims. Chelsea have splashed the cash on a raft of new recruits so far this summer, including 4 new forwards in the form of Liam Delap, João Pedro, Jamie Giddens and Estevao. The new recruits make up an already well-stacked attack, meaning Garnacho will be competing for a starting position once he arrives at Stamford Bridge.